I wouldn't put it in war terms. I mean, patents have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. What they are is an asset class that is starting to be mobilized. Mostly it'll be driven by corporations because they are the developers of most of the intellectual property, and the owners of it. So by definition, they're going to drive it. However, governments have a huge role in this whole thing. One is to make the process of monetizing your intellectual property, or even gaining it through the legal system of the country, as easy as possible. And that's a competitive issue for every country, including Canada. One of the things that you hear all the time are that small and medium-sized enterprises have more difficulty with the system than large companies do, and that's probably true because they can't afford as much of the legal support and things like that that big companies have. So one of the things that governments could easily do would be to find ways to facilitate access to the system by small and medium companies. The current systems, because every country has its own, if you didn't have them, you wouldn't have a knowledge economy, because there's no incentive to invent anything if you can't get the fruits of your invention. I don't think you need a global regime. I don't believe that every country is in the same circumstance. Certainly a global regime would be resisted by countries that have an awful lot of R&D and development issues. Imagine saying to the United States, you're no longer going to have your world-leading intellectual property operation, or to say that to China, which has just invested millions of yuan getting up to speed and getting up to snuff in that manner. It's just another example of competitiveness between nations, and it's probably good competitiveness. Yeah, but you get there differently than the underpinning of your question. You get there, and the way this stuff is protected and monetized by filing it and protecting it around the globe. And in that way, it becomes a global good. Think about a high-tech product that's, think about a smartphone. It's probably made in Taiwan. The programming is maybe done in the United States or Canada. It's assembled somewhere else, and it's shipped to a customer somewhere. It's a worldwide effort anyway. You may be witnessing an asset bubble, an asset price bubble, if you pay close attention to all the recent headlines that are going on in the industry. You're not witnessing an IP bubble in and of itself, because that IP was developed, years back and all of that, and it's still being developed in the continuum. But the pricing of it may be a bit of a bubble right now.